Hi there, Sage Canaday of VO2 Max Productions here with another training talk. Today we're going to talk about half marathon training, and I want to get right into the point of the key principles that I think will help your half marathon performance, whether you're just looking to do your first half marathon and finish, or you've done a couple half marathons and you're looking to improve your personal best time. I think these are the most important key elements that you'll need to reach that new level of fitness. Again, I appreciate all the comments and feedback. I do a training talk video every Thursday, so subscribe for that if you want to see new uploads every Thursday on training talk topics that you comment on. And I didn't get an overwhelming number of comments and votes, thumbs up for a clear topic this week, so that's why I chose to talk about half marathon training, and I hope you like it. So the first most important thing with half marathon training that I've seen from observing Olympians I've trained with, coaches that I've worked with, as well as my own coaching business and personal experience myself in the half marathon, is that your weekly mileage is really important. So keep a training log and write down how many miles you run each day and what kind of intensity or pace you're putting in for those miles. And most of the miles should be really easy. If you're looking to increase your mileage, say from 30 miles a week to 40 miles a week, which I think is a good benchmark, then you definitely want to increase maybe the number of days that you're running per week first. So if you're only running 4 days a week, maybe running 5 days or 6 days a week is going to help you a lot more, and it's going to get in more consistent training. And that's really the name of the game. For extending your stamina, improving your aerobic fitness with your heart and lungs, and training your legs as well. And so again, most of these mileage increases could be really easy miles. They should be a lot slower than your marathon race pace. It should be maybe a minute per mile slower than what your goal marathon pace is, but a real conversational pace, something that you're not going to struggle in. You could go out and run 5 miles and be able to carry on a conversation with your training partner, or not be totally out of breath. So it's not painful miles, they're just easy miles that increase your overall training volume. And that's a really key element for improving your endurance and your stamina, training your heart and lungs and your legs. It's just increasing your easy mileage. And that you know, what goes along with that is you don't want to get injured. So if you're running already 40 or 50 miles a week maybe, and you try to bump up all of a sudden to 60 or 70 miles a week, you might be overstressed, you might not sleep enough. We all have obligations, time constraints, family obligations, so it's not worth to do it. It's not worth to increase your mileage to a point where you're going to be overtraining, you're going to be losing a ton of sleep, and you're going to get a tendonitis or Achilles tendonitis or plantar fasciitis or some sort of injury. So with that being said, it kind of segues into my next topic, which is get important gear. Get some really good shoes for your feet. Obviously, being a Hoka sponsored athlete, I wear Hokas. They work well for me. But go to a run specialty store, get a diagnosis, see what your running form is, and hear their recommendations, because a lot of specialty run stores really know their stuff. And that being said, also look at your personal injury history. If you've been having the same sort of problems, maybe you need to change something with your form. So running form is also really important when you're adding more mileage to your training plan and when you're actually racing the half marathon. And with mileage, with running form, you could check out my video here. I'll link to it there. Form on basic proper running technique, because running form is really important to not only to increase your speed, but to be able to handle more training miles and to be able to handle running faster. And so having efficient form is going to save you both from getting injured and also being able to move more efficiently. So check out the running form tutorial video there. So we've covered mileage, we've covered your running form and your shoes and gear. The next thing I'd say is to break into your training is to do some key half marathon workouts. Now the key workouts that I'd recommend for half marathon, and I've covered this before in my other training talks, you could follow my training talk section here on YouTube, but I'll break it down real concrete here, is to do a tempo run. A tempo run type of workout is what they're called, and usually this entails doing a 20-minute run around your half marathon race pace, or even slightly faster, and really working on what we call as your lactate threshold, that point right when you start breathing pretty hard and you start feeling that kind of burning sensation of the lactic acid. And so this is more like doing a speed training specific workout for your half marathon. And if you're wearing a heart rate monitor, like I do a lot of times, this is around 85% of your maximum heart rate type of effort, or just an 80% to 90% type of effort when you go out on a run. And you want to do like a mile or two real slow, easy jog warm-up to get ready for it, maybe some stretching, and then go into this workout where you're running at a pace faster than your goal half marathon race pace for about 20 minutes or 3 miles. You could even extend that even longer, but that's a key type of workout to do to improve your fitness at half marathon distance. And the other key workout that I'd implement into your training is the long run. And this goes with building your weekly mileage. You want to have one day each week, and usually for most people this is on the weekend, where you actually do one long run that's significantly longer than your other weekly mileage types of days, than your easy days. So, you know, if you're looking to first finish your half marathon, you don't necessarily need to run 13.1 miles before the race, but maybe you want to build up to an 8-mile long run one week, and then a couple weeks later you're doing 9 miles, and then eventually 10 miles at least, depending on your weekly mileage. If you're running less than 30 miles a week, maybe you don't get up that far, but if you're doing 40, 50 miles a week, you probably do want to get up closer to the 10 to 12 mile long run range. And you could do that at a medium type of effort. It doesn't have to be all out. You're not trying to run your half marathon race in a long run, but you do want it to be a steady pace, and you want to be able to increase your effort, do a negative split long run where you actually increase the pace throughout the run, so you're running faster at the end. And that's really important for extending your endurance, because 13.1 miles is still a endurance event, and it's a long distance event, so your stamina and endurance is most important. So long run factors into helping your weekly mileage, and then you're doing your tempo run. The other key element of training that you need for half marathon is some sort of real fast speed workout. And this doesn't mean you have to go out to a track and sprint down the straightaways or even be on a track. It doesn't mean you're sprinting necessarily, but it means you're running at a pace significantly faster than your tempo run pace, significantly faster than half marathon pace. Maybe you're getting closer to under 5K race pace if you've done a 5K or shorter type of race. And these are shorter intervals usually. Maybe you're running 800 meter or half mile repeats around the track, and you're doing these at a pace that's faster than your 5K race pace, and you're doing these at an intensity that's pretty high. It's going to be at least 90% of your maximum heart rate to 95% of your maximum heart rate, or 90 to 95% effort. And maybe you're doing 5 by 800 meters, or you're doing a certain number of reps, so you're doing at least 2 miles worth of these intervals, and you're taking a real controlled rest in between each speed rep. So if you're doing 800 meter repeats and you're running around 3 minutes or 3:30 maybe per rep, you want to take a 2 to 3 minute rest. So you're actually resting less than the time that it takes you to run the interval. And it's a challenging workout, and it's definitely going to work your heart and lungs close to your VO2 max, your maximum aerobic capacity. You're going to feel some burn of lactic acid, but it's also going to train your legs to be able to have really strong push-off force, to have really good running mechanics and form, and to be used to turning over a lot faster than your half marathon race pace. Because when you get out on the half marathon, it's going to feel more like a comfortable, sustainable pace, a comfortable long run, or even a jog, ideally. So you're doing these real fast, short speed workouts, you're doing your tempo run workouts, and you're doing a long run. And maybe you're not doing all 3 of those workouts in 7 days, but maybe you're doing them in a 10-day cycle, or maybe you do 2 a week, and then the next week you do a speed workout and a long run. But those are the key elements that it takes to run your best half marathon. Thank you again for all the subscriptions, all the shares of this video, and I really wish you the best of luck in your half marathon training or whatever future event you have coming up. And thanks again for all the comments and for tuning in to VO2 Max Productions. I really appreciate all the views and all the support, and stay tuned for more.